What's up, English 9? This is Mr. Burke. Today I'm talking you through your second task in Module 1 of our media unit. So we're going to look today at your own media environment, and we're going to create a little document or a little artifact that kind of represents the types of media that you consume on a regular basis. So the kind of document that we're going to create is called a one-pager. It's basically, I should zoom in here for you so you can see. There you go. So a one pager is just a single page response to, a prompt or data or reading, whatever you're looking at. So in this case, we're doing a one page, digital document evaluating our own social media use. It's a way to be unique and creative and experimental. It's a way to respond with your imagination and to honestly look at some of the things that you do in a visual way. It's a way for you to kind of get your ideas down on paper and then be able to evaluate what you got going on. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a digital one pager in such a way that your audience will understand something. What you should use is something like Notability or Google Slides, or even the Jamboard app on your iPad is a really good way to do this. But I would recommend the Google Slides because it's going to be really easy to share into Schoology when you're done. So the first thing that you need to do is create a slideshow. That slideshow is going to be 3 slides long. You're going to put on the first slide, you're going to put your name, class period, and topic on the title slide. So your topic is going to be my media environment. The second slide is where we get creative. So you're going to use a visual image or multiple images. You either draw them in there or you create them somehow. And that's going to be the central focus of the page. And that's your one pager. And then the third slide is a little statement that summarizes kind of what you're sharing with us about your media consumption. So let's get more specific. The goal of your one pager is to analyze your social media use. So most of us have at least one social media account. You're going to pick which one that you use most often or the one that you want to use. For instance, you could choose Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok. If you don't use any of those, Instagram. If you don't use that, what media do you consume on a regular basis? Do you consume television? Do you consume Netflix? Do you consume, are you looking at the newspaper ever or listening to the radio? Everybody consumes media. It's not a fair answer to say that you don't, because of the way that the world is. Right, Kitty? Right. So you got to make sure that you choose one, and then you're going to kind of look at what are the things that you do. The best way to do that is to look at your, like it says right here, your top 20 to 30 posts, or most recent. So if this were me and I was doing Twitter, let's say, I would just look through the first 20 of the content that's posted, different tweets by different people. And then I would just answer these questions visually. Who do I follow? Okay, who is producing the most content on there? What kinds of accounts are there? I would try to break these down into categories. For me, it would be a lot of teachers, football coaches, sports people, news and information, and different media people. Then you want to provide some sort of snapshot of your feed, right? You could take some screenshots. You could take some. You could just write stuff. You could choose, put screenshots of tweets or texts or whatever that you got going on there, and then you got to start to look at themes and patterns. What's being celebrated? What is your social media feeds telling you about what's happening? What are things that are being put out there? What are things that are being shunned or pushed away? And then what type of ads show up on there? Everybody gets tailored ads on their different media platforms. So what type of ads show up as you're looking through? And then who follows you? Look at who your followers are. How many do you have? What are things that you're sending out there for your followers to consume? And are they the same type of people as you, or are they different? All that stuff. What you should do is share names of organizations, celebrities that you follow. Okay, but don't share names of personal accounts like your friends and family. You can summarize that stuff, but don't put it actually on your screen at all, just to make sure we keep account of everybody's privacy, that we don't want to, put their social media feeds out there. So here's an example of one a teacher did. So a one pager, slide 2 is the analysis. So here's the title slide. Okay, and then, so that's slide 1 that you have. And then slide 2, this is what they created, right? So they have this is sort of a pie chart of all the different 30 accounts that they follow and what categories do they follow into. So the number one, biggest category is colleagues this person has, then media literacy educators, writers, celebrity teachers, and then he's got politicians, golf people, professional organizations, historical, and then school sport accounts, right? All these other things in here. So that's basically the top 30 Twitter accounts on this teacher's account. And so these are the things that are influencing this teacher. Then slide 3 is just a summary, kind of what he's saying. So he looked at his personal media consumption. It said most people he follows are teachers, educators, organization involved in education. But that doesn't mean the majority of the information he sees comes from that. So he's looking at, these accounts, I have of my top 30 accounts that I see, they come from all these different people, but it's not necessarily all the content I see. He said that writers, entertainers, and politicians make up the majority of the content. So that's, because that's a self-promotion group. So then he says, and then lastly says a lot of the feed is original content, not likes and retweets. Okay, so he's kind of evaluating what's the type of content out there. And again, basically, he's just answering these questions right here. So you're going to want to do something very similar. Does yours have to be this detailed? No, but I do want you to look and try to kind of give us a sense in your one-pager slide what the different followers you have, the different things that you follow, and try to categorize those things so then we can evaluate them later. So that's kind of it. You're going to have today in class, Tuesday, and Wednesday to make sure that you get this done. And when you come to class Thursday, it should be all completed. See you later.